Boop. Happy Monday. Today is Monday, September the 21st, 2020, and today's daily Bible readings come to us from Psalm 119, 97 through 104, Exodus 16, 31 through 35, Romans 16, 1 through 16, or you could have read Psalm 106, verses 1 through 12, Genesis 27, verses 1 through 29, and then again end up with Romans, and I'm actually going to talk about Romans today, and I'm going to talk all about hugs and kisses. Because that's what everybody misses the most right now, right? It's that ability to be in close contact with your friends and your family, the people that mean the most to you. And even when you are with them, it's not like you can really, kind of be like, embrace them the way you would or might like to. I don't know. Maybe you're not a real big hugger. I'm not really that much either, but it's a nice option to have when you're with people you really care about. To be able to go and put your arm around a friend or shake hands, we can't even do that anymore. We feel like we've had it all taken away from us. And I think that's where Paul's at. Paul's in a position here as he closes out Romans where he gushes a little bit and is saying good, sending greetings to everyone that he can think of here at the end of the letter. He's dealt with all the big, important things he has to deal with, and now he's kind of fitting in all the greetings and things like that. But have you ever, it's kind of like, I don't know if you've ever seen the reruns of the Andy Griffith Show, but like there's this joke goes throughout it where they're like, Goober says hey, and their response is hey to Goober, and it can range from anything like hey to Goober to hey to Goober, just kind of like, but have you ever thought that it's kind of weird that in our canon of scripture that all these greetings, these really kind of just, hey, tell them I said hi, I'm really, missing them, that's canonized. It's kind of an important and a very earthy thing, earthy aspect to scripture, I think. And so, Paul's ending this letter with greetings that have now become scripture, right? I mean, this is a part of the daily Bible reading. This is part of the Revised Common Lectionary. It was important to put it in, not just because he's saying greetings, but because of what he's saying about these people and why they're so important to him. Paul often ends his letters, often begins his letters with warm greetings and wishes like these. As a matter of fact, it's unusual when he doesn't. And if you got one of these letters and there weren't a bunch of these greetings and a bunch of salutations at the beginning of it, that probably means you did something wrong and Paul was really, really irritated with you. I'm looking at you, Galatians. But why is it so important? Well, these people are so important to him because they shared the struggle for Christ's gospel, right? They were a part of the struggle. They weren't just observers, they weren't just people who heard him preach when he came to town. These were people who heard him proclaim the gospel, responded to the gospel, and then amazingly participated in the work of further sharing the gospel with people. So you've got Phoebe, this woman whom he addresses as the deacon and commends to the other people whom he's addressed this letter to, that they should work with her and care for her because she is doing the same good work that he's doing. So you got Phoebe, you've got Mary, who he lists as a hard worker in the church who has done great things, and so he's sending her warm wishes. And then Prisca and Aquila, he says, basically who worked for the Gospels among the Gentiles just as hard as he has, and even lead a church in their own household, right? And then they themselves also, they're another reason why, lead to another reason why he's so concerned and wants to take time out of this important work he's doing here in the letter to the Romans to greet them, is because they also shared in the dangers that come with, or came with, I should say, that came with sharing the gospel in those times, because he says they risk their own necks. Not only do they do all this great work for Christ, for spreading the gospel, for leading the church, but they risk their own necks to save Paul when he needed it the most. Those are the kind of people that he is greeting, that he is, that he misses being around. Andronicus and Junia, he says they were even imprisoned with him for the sake of the gospel. So that's the kind of people that he is really missing out on, really missing being around and not being able to see in person. So he sends hugs and kisses, you know. It's like at the end of this letter, he's writing a bunch of X's and O's because he really wishes he could be with them. All these people that have shared in the work, shared in the sufferings, shared in the difficulties. And that's who he wants to be with, but he can't be with them. And that's probably, I'm thinking, the thing he misses the most. You know, in the land before COVID, that's probably the biggest thing we took for granted when it came to the life of the church, was just the ability to be with the people you cared about, and the people who had shared in the life of the church with you. And now it's the thing we miss the most. So maybe take a lesson from Paul. Write a letter to those you care about, encourage them in their faith, and then send them hugs and kisses. Have a good day. We'll be back with more DBR tomorrow. Boop.